So many of you have, and those who are new, you guys have had a bit of meditation. You said you're on your own, right? So we're not going to do the mindfulness of breath. Yeah, no more vanilla ice cream for us. We're going to go on to one of the Ben and Jerry flavors, like something more exciting. So this is actually a healing meditation that we'll start with. And well, again, whatever meditation we do, we get into the same kind of nice meditation posture, so please do that. And this meditation you can do at the beginning of any of your meditation sessions, okay? So please get into a nice meditation posture. Just, we've gone over that before, what that looks like. But basically to have a straight back with the nose over the navel, the shoulders, even and not hunched, and the chest open. And then here, first what we're going to do is, we breathe in slowly, and then as we breathe out, we visualize like all of our disease, all of our negative emotions, all of the imprints of negative actions on our mind. We exhale that through our nostrils, and it's in the form of like black smoke. Then all of our disease and the cause for future disease, negative thoughts, actions, and their imprints come out in that form of black smoke. Then with each subsequent breath, we visualize that cloud of black smoke is getting further and further away, drifting off into the sky. And then it completely dissipates into the sky, leaving not even one trace behind. Now for the second part, for those of you with faith in the Buddha, you can imagine that the Buddha appears in the space in front of us. If not, you can just visualize maybe white light, or if you're from another tradition, an object of your faith. It can be Jesus or a cross or whatever, doesn't matter. And then just visualize, let's say, if we're visualizing the Buddha, that from the Buddha's heart, that white light comes into our heart and then completely illuminates the insides of our body. Just like when we turn on a light switch in a dark room, just in 1 second, the whole room is illuminated. So just like that, our whole body becomes completely illuminated by this white light. And this white healing light then purifies all the disease, negative thoughts, actions, and their imprints on our mind. And in particular, any disease we have is completely gone, just like the darkness is dispelled by the light. And then imagine imagine that our bodies, we no longer have these, gross material bodies, but just imagine that our whole body is in the aspect of white light. Completely free from all suffering and completely filled with joy and bliss from the top of your head down to your toes. So now think that our lifespan has been prolonged and our positive energy, our positive qualities, like wisdom and compassion and so forth, have also been increased. Okay, so bring your attention back to the room. Okay. So, is that okay? Yes? Yes. Okay. So you can do that kind of meditation before, at the beginning of a session, and then you can continue with your breathing meditation or whatever other kind of meditation you do. All right. So, again, notice that was maybe 3-4 minutes. So, easy to do. No excuses not to do. No excuses that we don't have time to do. Right? Okay. So now, what we also do at the beginning of a session is set our motivation. Right? So I think most of you know, but we always say that what actually determines whether our actions become positive or negative, virtue or non-virtue, isn't the action themselves, but the motivation with which we take the action. That's the primary determining factor. So here, we should think, as best as we can, that the purpose of our lives is to benefit others. And, well, all others are just like us in wanting to have happiness and wanting to avoid suffering. And for us to work for just our own happiness and benefit while ignoring the plight of others is, well, a bit selfish and not the way we want to live our lives. Yeah. So, given that we want to benefit others and alleviate their suffering and give them happiness, we ourselves need to be able to develop our inner qualities, and we're going to be, and therefore we've come to this session here this morning. Okay? And think that whatever kind of positive energy we create in our time here together, may that become the cause for us to quickly achieve our highest state of potential, so we can lead all others to do the same thing. Okay? All right. Oh. I got it done. I just was surprised. Okay. So, ultimate healing. Okay. The point is this. Okay, first of all, does anyone have like a quite serious life-threatening illness?
Physical or mental?
Either, yeah.
I suffer from fear.
Oh, by the way.
I've got anxiety disorder.
Yes, okay. By the way, you had asked yesterday a question that I said I'd get to later and I didn't get to yesterday. Okay?
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah, it was about
Fear.
for others.
Fear and anger.
Yeah,
right?
fear and anger also.
Yeah. So, lest I forget, hi. Have you been here before?
Yes.
Okay.
Last year.
Last year.
Yes.
Have you seen me before?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. I'm sorry I don't remember you.
It's okay.
It's okay. My mom said that.
I only attended one class of yours.
Oh, well then, okay, respect. I gave more than one class.
Yes.
So what happened to the rest? Why didn't you come?
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Okay, so, hi. Rita, right?
Yes.
Yes, see. I remember her name, I remember she asked a question, I also remember I didn't answer it. So I'm gonna answer it now, lest I forget again. Okay, so yesterday we were talking about anger, how to heal anger. And she had a question about the relationship between fear and anger. Okay? Right. So in general, fear, we have to distinguish a few different, like two kinds of fear, right? Some fear is actually wholesome, right? So for example, I mean, we're gonna get to this in a little bit, but like the fear of death, okay? So on one level, if we fear that we're going to die having not purified our mind enough, and therefore will take rebirth in the lower realms, that's actually a wholesome fear, right? So like the great Tibetan yogi Milarepa, he once said, you know his life story a little bit, right? So in his youth, his father passed away, and his mother and him were then sent to go live at his uncle's place. And his uncle and aunt were very abusive. They just kind of, his father had been quite wealthy, they just took the father's wealth and then made him work like slaves. And it was very horrific for the family. So then as Milarepa got to be a bit older, the mother sent him to go study black magic. Yeah, black magic, to then make, to get revenge on the uncle. So then once, when the uncle was having a party at the house, he made a hailstorm, a terrible hailstorm come. Sorry. One time, I was, before I learned Tibetan quite well, there was a teaching, His Holiness taught this in Dharamsala, and I was listening to the English translation. And the translator, he had a bit of an accent, so he said, like, he made it rain down the hails, but it was sounding like hells. Hells. He made it rain down the hells. So I was like, oh my gosh, wow, what kind of black magic was that? Then later I'm like, oh, hail, okay. Anyway, either way, terrible thing, and the house collapsed, and then like, I think maybe 30-some people died, and a lot of yak and ox and whatever, you know? Anyway, so he'd done this terrible thing, Then later he comes to meet the Dharma, and he meets his guru Marpa, and then does a lot of different service for Marpa to purify his mind. Then goes off to do meditation and attained enlightenment in that very lifetime. But anyway, why I'm bringing this up is he had a very famous saying that he said, "Fearing death, I went to the mountains for solitary meditation. Now I have realized the primordial nature of my mind, so even if I were to die now, I would have no fear." Okay? So on one level, this kind of wholesome fear that our death is coming soon, and we don't know where we're going to go after we die, and well, there's only two paths, you know. If we practice virtue, and then we'll go to a higher realm. If we practice non-virtue, then we'll go to a lower realm. Being afraid of the suffering of the lower realms, and thus abandoning non-virtue and practicing virtue as much as we can, actually gives a whole lot of energy to our practice, right? Which is why the Buddha said that just like amongst all of the footprints of animals, the footprint of the elephant is supreme. Amongst all meditations for beginners, the remembrance of death and impermanence is supreme. Okay? So this is a wholesome kind of fear, right? But sometimes we have other kinds of fear that is, based on like delusional, like we're very paranoid that other people are like talking about us or whatever it could be, right?
Out
So then,
to get us. Out to get us.
Yeah.
I have that one.
Yeah. So then like we have some anxiety, and then we see two people talking, and then like looking at us, and then we're like, what are they saying about me? And all this kind of paranoia. So this is actually based on like a distorted view of reality, right? And then when we have this, we that kind of amplifies our fear, and then that can lead to hostility toward others, Even they say something like very innocuous, but we like read into it, like you say it to someone like whatever, right? Oh, I'm glad you could come today, or something like this. They're like, what did you say? Or something like, nothing bad at all, but we can take it like they're trying to attack us or
That's right.
imply something, right? So that kind of fear, unwholesome fear based on a distorted view of reality, then we get very, how do you say, we can become hostile
What
to
is
other
the
people.
root cause in earlier lives? What is the reason? Or what is the possible reason?
Well,
It resembles about.
Yeah, sure.
The consequence resembles the cause.
Yeah.
Maybe I did it to others.
That's
literally harmed
definitely
others.
that's
I
definitely
feel
possible.
now
Yeah.
That similarly they're going to harm me back.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Some past life memory.
Yeah.
Could be.
Could
One
be.
thing.
Yeah, could be.
Okay.
I mean, that's the whole
Just
point,
to
right?
rationalize.
We always
Just
have
to
a
rationalize.
we always have a what's called an experience that's in congruency or congruent with the cause, right? So maybe in your past life you were scheming behind someone's back and talking about them.
Yeah.
So now,
You fear it.
you fear it in others. Anyway, so that was that, yeah?
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Venerable, I have a major migraine.
You have a major migraine. Okay.
That can be healed?
Yes. Okay. No, that's the thing, right? Everything can be healed.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's get into the before we get. I've already started to disperse a bit. Let me bring it back in. Okay. All right. So what we're going to talk about today, this is what I thought, okay? First of all, to be very honest, when we called this ultimate healing, you know, and then was there a subtitle? Was there?
Heal the body and mind through meditation.
Yeah, okay. Then there's like two-day workshops, and this one was ultimate healing. So, I'm gonna be honest, when we, meaning I, came up with the title, I was just thinking about a title that would attract more people to come. But I didn't really have a good idea about what I would talk about, okay? Okay? I'm being honest, all right? So now, subsequent to that, I'm like, okay, what can I talk about in terms of healing? And so this is what I was thinking, okay? I want to talk about the psychology of healing, okay? And I want to talk about the nature of the mind, yeah? And how we can heal the mind through meditation, okay? And in particular, I wanted to talk about thought transformation, right? How we can then come to look at our problems in a different light. So our problems, be they physical or mental or whatever it may be, how we can look at it in a different light and thereby change our reality by changing our mind. Okay? Then I want to talk about breaking some of these fixed concepts that we have, yeah, that can lead us to having more mental problems and mental suffering. And in particular, I'm going to be talking about the fixed concepts we have about death, as well as the fixed concepts we have about suffering being an absolutely bad thing. And then I want to talk a little bit more about how, the purpose of our life and compassion, compassion, and how we can then use our meditation on compassion to enact mental transformation and healing. And then lastly, I do want to talk about, okay, then I'm just getting a signal. So not lastly, second to lastly, I want to talk about the more kind of ultimate nature of phenomena and how all phenomena are just merely labeled by the mind. So we're going to talk about the ultimate view of reality, or emptiness, or shunyata, yeah? And then you all have this, did you all get this?
Yes.
Yeah? This is a picture of the medicine Buddha. Oops. And I think you guys do the medicine Buddha practice here a lot, yeah? So I want to talk about medicine Buddha. But that might not happen today. Who knows? We also have tomorrow evening, okay? So let's see.
Normally on Tuesday.
Normally on Tuesday.